Hey everybody, Jake here for ExtremeTerrain, and in this video we're taking a look at these MP Concepts Fender Flares in textured black, fitting 2021 and newer four-door Broncos, excluding the Raptor. If you want to bring a little bit of that beefier Raptor or Sasquatch style to your own Bronco, look no further than these flares from MP Concepts. These are going to give you that more aggressive look you're after, allow you additional room for wider wheels and tires, and protect the body of your rig from obstacles and debris out on the street or trail. These offer about the most coverage you can get for your dollars too, which makes them a pretty darn good value. Now we love a good set of fender flares around these parts, and I happen to think that these are a near perfect match for the Bronco. The highlight here is that they extend 5 inches out from the body of the truck to give you a ton of extra coverage. Now that means you can fit some seriously beefy wheels and tires without having them stick out too far from the fenders. Now that's going to help avoid rocks and debris getting kicked up and hitting the body of the Bronco as well, so whether you're on the street or the trail, you're going to be protected. Now these do feature a pocket style with these indents around the top for a little extra visual interest. But they also add a lot of visual width and actual width to the Bronco too. Again, it puts me in mind of the Raptor or Sasquatch package model, so if that's the look you're chasing, these are going to get you there. It really takes the look of the Bronco from mild to a bit more wild. They also feature a super easy installation, and they're solidly constructed too, but we'll touch more on both of those things in a few moments. Now the flares are made from injection molded ABS plastic, which is used throughout the auto industry because it's lightweight and it's very strong. Your factory flares are made from the same material and they're constructed in much the same way. These do have that same texture black finish over top too, so they're going to match the rest of the trim on your Bronco just about perfectly. And they come ready to install as well. All you got to do is transfer over some clamps and these are going to go right on. Pricing comes in at about $600 for the full set. Now I've only got one of the fronts and one of the rears up here on the table because all 4 of them are not going to fit, but you do get a set of 4. Now that $600 price tag is going to put them toward the upper end of the price range, but they do still undercut some other options on the market, and they provide you tons of coverage for your dollar. These are about the widest and best integrated flares you can get without having to go to tubulars or buy the ones directly from the Ford dealership. So if you want that OEM plus look and feel, these are going to be a great choice that don't require you to spend a ton of money. Installation gets a 1 out of 3 on our difficulty meter, and the job should take you around 1 hour to complete. Now, like I mentioned a few moments ago, these are going to attach using the same clips and mounting points as your factory flares. You're just going to need to spend a little bit of time swapping those clips over to these new ones, and then everything will go right back on as if it were a factory part. To walk you through that process now, let's hand things over to one of our XT customers.
Hey guys, I'm going to show you how to change out the fender flares. These are the stock fender flares that came on the Ford Bronco, and I'm going to swap them out with these MP Concepts that I just got. So you'll just need a flathead screwdriver, but I am also probably going to use needle-nose pliers. So first thing I'm going to do is show you how to take off the original fender flares. They are super easy. There is little latches right here. There's 5 of them. So you'll just take that, flip it the other way, and all of them you'll flip. And then there should be 5 on each one. And I know that I have one down here because I have these mud flaps on here. Just and then they just pop right off. So I'm going to bring these over. You want to make sure you have the right fenders. Make sure you got a front right, a front left, a rear left, and a rear right. Just make sure you have the right parts. So I'm going to keep this because you'll have to swap out the tabs with the originals. And same thing on this side. That's the little latches, they just flip one way to the other, like so. So now I'm going to show you how to swap these tabs. So we'll do the rear one first. you're gonna take either your flathead screwdriver, these little ones that twist right here, make sure it's lined up like that. You'll take your flathead, push down these 2 tabs, or you can use the elbows. That makes it a little easier. They should just pop right out and then pop right into this one, just like that. Looks like a charm. Okay, so you're gonna do this with all of them. I might have popped that one up just a little far. There we go. So just make sure you don't get it too far up there, so it doesn't snap off when you try and put your new ones on. Like that. And then do all 5. Then you're going to want to take these little tabs right here, and they just pop right down like that. They come right out. Then you'll pop it in there, push up on it, easy. Closely. There. Sometimes those little tabs are a little hard to again, just make sure that you're lined up so you don't bust them. There we go. Sometimes these, there you go, get a little stuck, so I just use a screwdriver, kind of help guide that back. Last one. There we go. Rear is done. Now we're gonna do the front ones. Same thing. So when you're doing these, after doing 14 of them now, makes it easy to squeeze those 2 tabs and then use your finger to kind of just wiggle it. And it goes a little easier then. So you gotta line those 2 tabs up. All right. down, one to go. So you have your guide pins right here and here. Make sure these are all sideways, like this. So they pop right in the. Alright. Go ahead and line these up. So make sure you line these brackets, the ones that spin up with the square holes, and it should just line up right in with all the guide pins. Everything seems to be fitting just fine. Flex it just a tiny bit to get it in. And now, same thing like taking them off, you're just gonna flip them the other way. There you go. Right here. And then this one. See if I can get it. There we go. Alrighty. They're on. Gonna have to clean those up. Same thing. This one's having just little. Oh, I didn't have my little things twisted, so. There we go. Again, guys, make sure those little tabs are lined up. There we go. Got all 5.
That's going to wrap it up here for our review and install of the MP Concepts Fender Flares in texture black, fitting 2021 and newer Bronco 4-doors, excluding the Raptor. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, for all things Bronco, make sure you keep it right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.